system and try to find the vulnerabilities before a black hat hacker does. Okay, highly skilled in IT. Like when you say you are trained in India, then it means you are the best. Because no system is 100% secured. Okay, all these things, technology. India is very advanced, one of the best in the world.
So what's up, guys? Today we're coming with another podcast on ethical hacking. We have Felix with us, who is from lovely professional university, but basically from South Africa. So let's know more about Felix and then get into ethical hacking. So Akash, could you please, introduce our guest of today's host that we have?
Felix Bentil is a cybersecurity analyst, ethical hacker, security researcher, penetration tester, bug bounty hunter. Felix Bentil is expertised in techniques of hacking networks, mobile devices, web applications, and is also into ethics and cyber laws. He has helped many organizations ranging from government and national agencies, financial institutions, educational institutions, telecommunications, oil and gas agencies, and other corporate organizations across the globe in fixing vulnerabilities. He is a certified ethical hacker, CEH version 11, and a member of Computer Society of India, member of Institute of ICT Professionals Ghana, IEEE Computer Society. He is also a part-time hacker at HackerOne and Buckcrowd at his leisure time.
Wow. So welcome you, Felix, with us. So Felix, can you give me your title tag that you have? You like to know if somebody asks you, what are you, Felix? So there is something you'll add on. Can I have that from your side?
Okay, I'm just someone who is interested in cybersecurity in general. I love to find ways around systems, okay, to make sure that I find a different way into entering into a system different than what the system was developed to, or actually developed to do. Okay, so I enjoy finding ways around systems, trying to get into systems, and that's something that I enjoy doing most. So basically, I'm an ethical hacker. I don't do it for any malice or malicious intents. I just try to find vulnerabilities in systems and report it to the necessary organizations or the organizations that are responsible for or in charge of making sure that their systems are secured. So that's what I do, and I love doing it. So basically, that's everything about me.
So it's like you just do ethical hacking, but you do it legally and ethically. But just want to know about, there is always this kind of mindset in India. If you come across anyone around, a general person who's not actually to the platform, but if you just say him, bro, like you do ethical hacking, what is the first thing you just most time face across? What is the first question you get from people?
Sometimes on my social media, I think people have not come to appreciate ethical hacking to a certain level. So people have this misconception. They have this perception about hacking. When you introduce yourself that you are into ethical hacking, they put you in the box of a black hat hacker. That's a hacker who has malicious intents. Okay, so that's the funny thing. But people try to draw closer to you when you try to break it down for them to understand that, hey, I'm the good guy. We have different types of hackers. We just try to find entry into a system and try to find the vulnerabilities before a black hat hacker does, okay? So that the company or the institution involved can provide remedies or remediations to it before a malicious attacker finds out that vulnerability. So on social media, many people have unfriended me on Facebook because when they see my profile, they think this guy is a bad person, and so I've lost a lot of social media followers because of this. So that's the interesting thing. But I think with time and some of this thing that you and Akash are doing, I think many people will come to appreciate this field of ethical hacking, and I think we will get there gradually.
Definite, yeah. Felix, because people are quite scared about it. Like from basically we've been seeing in movies or everywhere, the Bollywood thing, like ethical hacker is somebody sitting in front of the laptop, hacking everything, taking off your money. And as usual, the YouTube generation also making that mindset, like, people will just loot you money who's in hacking. But they don't know the quite difference between ethical hacking and hacking. The previous podcast, we had the same discussion, like, we were like, trying to figure out and make people understand like what is ethical and what is hacking. They're quite, different thing. So definitely you will have a lot many followers in a short while. We'll keep uploading this podcast and content for them so they can understand.
So Felix, have this, people have this misconception of ethical hacking, because when we speak about ethical hacking, there are various domains in cybersecurity. It is not only with respect to the web application like which you are doing, or the networks which you are doing. So if a student wants to come in, a lot of freshers ask me, how do I get into this field? This hacking terms, it is something fascinating. Even without the prior knowledge, it will attract a lot of amount of people. So what is something that which attracted you towards this field?
Thank you. My introduction into ethical hacking was is something that is very interesting. I was duped online, okay, and I was duped online. I was a kind of a phishing attack, and I was through that I was duped. I was duped of some few dollars. So I decided that no, I have to learn this kind of thing so that I can first protect myself, know how these black hat hackers operate, to first protect myself, to also help protect my family and my friends, and then later spread out this knowledge to the general public so that everybody can be safer online. We can create an online or cyber safety for everybody who accesses the internet. So I think that's what attracted me to ethical hacking, because I wanted to stay safe, to get more knowledge on how these hackers operate, and through that I'll be able to know how to protect myself.
That's great. So Felix, we have been hearing about, people being, you said there's some black hat hackers, right? Who are the negative characters in the society. But have you ever come across some black hat hacker at the same time when you are studying and you're trying to improve the website, and there is some other person trying to get into the web application? Has that ever happened to you online, or somebody you just had a conversation while doing that, something like that?
Thanks for the question. I think in the field, it has happened to me once. There was an insider. The attack was coming from the inside of the organization. So it was an insider attack. And when I realized it, I confronted the people. It was actually coming from the IT guys in the organization. So I confronted them, and because of that, it created some kind of ethical issues. Because one, they told me they will lose their job in case I make a complete report that indeed the attack was coming from inside. So it was kind of a dilemma for me. I didn't really know what to do. So I just had to abandon the project. Like, I just decided that I won't go further with the contract. So I had to abandon it. And because that was my first time I actually came into contact, like in my line of work, into contact with people like that. So I wouldn't qualify them as black hat hackers, but they are just ethical hackers who are using their skills for malicious intent. They are not actually black hats, as in the black hat, but they are normal ethical hackers who are using their skills for a bad purpose.
So basically, they are gray hat hackers.
Okay, so you have this gray and black. I mean, in between, people who are like, sometimes on the negative side and sometimes on the positive side. They have like two colors when they work, right? Yeah, that's good, man. So, okay, so now I would like to ask you something okay, so people say like you can snoop into somebody's personal account. I mean, there are people in industry, people are in sports. They have these blue ticks. Is it really easy to get into their websites and their personal Instagram accounts and then try to find out their passwords? Is it really possible?
Yeah, everything is possible. In hacking, even in security, everything is possible, because no system is 100% secured. Okay, so there is always a way around systems, and because of that, always there is a way around systems. But it's either for you to know how to do it. Okay, it's up to you to know how to do it. That's why we have different levels. Even in ethical hacking, we ethical hackers, there are people who are more skilled than I am. Akash is very good, and we have many people out there who are very skilled. Okay, so depending on the skill level of the hacker, he will be able to know that at this with this security at this security level of the system that he or she is trying to access, will he be able to penetrate it? So maybe I will come into a system, I will not be able to penetrate or find any way around it. Akash would come, because probably Akash is more skilled than I am. He will be able to do the same thing that I couldn't do.
Okay.
Yes.
So sometimes it's like you cannot find out the loopholes, but some other person can find out the loopholes. It depends upon the way we have experience, you mean?
Yes, and the skill level of the person.
Oh,
yes.
That's good. Mm-hmm.
And again, it depends on the psychology, how how the target person understanding the psychology, using their own mindset against themselves. So that also plays a major role while hacking someone's social media account.
Yes, and for the social media too, I think social engineering really comes to play, because many people on social media, they are not security inclined. They are just using social media just to go and post, like, and also share their videos. Off they go. They don't really have much knowledge about this online security or online safety. So depending on the various, after he has gathered all that information, he will then identify the attacking surface, okay, where he wants to penetrate. Maybe if he uses a phishing attack, like send you a link, he realized that you are really interested in buying maybe reduced sales phones, maybe phones that has reduced prices. You are really interested in buying that. He can send you a link, okay, which he has written a malicious script behind it. So as soon as you click on that link, then it takes you to something to log in, where he can harvest or steal your credentials, your login credentials, something like that. So depending on what you want, so a hacker will use what entices you, what attracts you to get you. Okay, so if he realized that you like eating too much sugar, probably he will think about using sugar to attract you, because he knows that you are interested in sugar. Yeah, so that's how it works. So he will study his victim, then based on what the victim wants, he will give it to the victim, then he will attract the victim. So that's how it works.
There's a misconception about this dark web. A lot of people speak, access dark web, access dark web. Some people say access, Tor. I use Tor. That is itself for the dark web. So I want you to clear this misconception. What is basically this dark web, torrents, and everything?
Okay, so the dark web, we have the surface web. Okay, we have the surface. So there are three kinds of web. We have the surface web, we have the deep web, and we have the dark web.
What are the three things?
Surface web.
Surface web.
Surface, yes.
Okay.
Then we have the deep
web,
the dark,
and then the dark web. Okay, so where do all the normal people use? Is it on the surface web? We use all in surface web.
Yes, surface web.
That's great. Okay, cool.
Yeah. So the surface web, you are able to access everything, almost everything that we've been using online. We are accessing it on the surface web. Okay, and the surface web, what makes the surface web is that crawlers. Okay, we have something called crawlers. Crawlers are found in search engines like the Google search engine and all these search engines. Crawlers are able to crawl through the surface web. That's why they're able to retrieve, when you search for something, they're able to retrieve all these things. Okay. Now, when you go into the deep web, the second level, that's the deep web, crawlers are not able to work there. The normal crawlers, Google search engines, they are not able to work there. So there are certain websites that occur at the deep web level. Okay, you are not able to get, if you search for some information, you will not be able to get it because they are hidden from the crawlers. Crawlers are not able to crawl to that level of the web. And the dark. The dark is the deepest part, okay, where all the dark things happen, where credit card fraud and credit card details are exchanged, like people sell people's credit cards. It happens at the dark web, okay, where cyber terrorism, people plan cyber attacks on nations, people plan cyber attacks on companies, like serious cyber attacks. Even in the dark web, that's where you even be able to find black hat hackers, where people pay them to maybe hack some people. Okay, so that everything, the dark web, cocaine deals, and everything happens at the dark web. Because it is dark, these security forces, agencies are not able to go there and see what is going on there. So they are hidden. They are hidden because crawlers cannot even find them. So that's the level where black hat hackers operate. And that's the level that even most ethical hackers go there and learn, because that level, it is advanced people, like people who are really advanced that are there. And you can access that level. You can access that level using the normal Google Chrome and the Internet Explorer browsers and those things. Okay, maybe you can use or Tor or Onion, these browsers. Okay, these browsers are what you can use to access that level. So if you want to browse at the dark web and the deep web, then probably you need a Tor browser.
Is it recommended to use Tor browsers? I mean, or is it like, a good part of it? Like, is it illegal to use Tor browsers by the common people?
Oh, it is not, well, it is not illegal, but I think you are rather, to my point of view, you are rather exposing yourself to attacks, because that level is highly advanced hackers who are there, and most of them is for black hat hackers. So you using that browser to access, and one thing about that browser is that it makes you untraceable. They cannot trace you. It's anonymous. So your IP is hidden, everything, nobody can trace you. So that's why black hat hackers love to use that Tor browser to access the dark web. Okay, so I
So
think
it's like if somebody who doesn't know anything like me, it's like a first grade kid going and sitting into a master degree class. It's like you
sure,
don't
something
understand
like
what
that.
they're doing, but you'll be like destroyed. In some chances, there are like you get destroyed by them.
Sure, something
Chances are
like that.
there. Yeah, get it.
Yes, something like that.
Okay.
With respect to the cyber laws in the country, if you see India also where you've been now, there's not much, things emphasized on cyber laws. And with respect to your countries, you said, technological advancement is not there, which in turn says, cyber laws are not that strict. So how necessary is it for a country, to emphasize more on cyber laws?
If you are protecting your country physically, then definitely you have to protect your country digitally as well. Because right now, the wars that we are fighting have moved on from the physical wars to cyber wars. So, and if you are a country that is really serious in protecting your citizens or in protecting your infrastructure, then your IT infrastructure and everything that you have, then probably you have to take cybersecurity seriously. And I think my country has done something that is very impressive. Last year, December, is it November, December, there about the ending of last year, they launched, they passed this bill into a law, the Cybersecurity Act. So they've been able to pass that law, Cybersecurity Act, and I think that's a beautiful step. Okay, because at least we've had now we have a Cybersecurity Act, a law that will govern the whole operations of cybersecurity in the country. So I think gradually we'll get there. All that I'm saying is we need to develop or to train more skilled professionals in cybersecurity, like in the different domains of cybersecurity, in penetration testing, ethical hacking, in disaster recovery, in IT audit, cybersecurity audit, in forensic, digital forensic or forensic analysis. All these people need to be trained. And I think with time, since they've made that law or they've passed that law in my country, I think with time, more people will be trained in cybersecurity to take charge of some of these cybersecurity issues in my country to fill in the gaps. But what I intend to do is when I go back, I think I'll push, is one of my plans to push this cybersecurity agenda in my country as Indians are doing here, because at least the government has to at least set a good example for other companies to follow. Because in my country, I've never seen any company in my country with a responsible disclosure program. Even the government doesn't have it. So I think these are some of the things that when I go back to my country, I want to push it so that some of these programs can be made available. Some of these companies can make available some of these RDPs so that more people can get interested in ethical hacking. So basically, these are some of the ideas that I have going forward. I think we will get there, though we are not on the level of India when it comes to technology and all these advancements yet. Okay, so many people graduate and they are not even able to write a single line of code. Maybe they are computer science students, but they've graduated. If you ask them about any theoretical computer science theory, they will be able to say it, but they cannot even program. They cannot even write a single line of code. So that's the kind of issue there. So and that's the main reason why I came to India for my master's. So because at the undergraduate level, I couldn't get much, although I did IT at the undergraduate level, I realized that I couldn't program well. And I didn't even understand programming logic and all these things. So I think that's the problem in my country's education system, where students are trained to be rote learners. Rote learners, I mean, they're able to if like read and reproduce whatever they've read, exactly the same thing. They can recite it to you as if they are reciting the holy books. They can recite it to you. Okay, so but they cannot practice whatever they've learned. They cannot apply it. They are not able. So that's the skill gap. There is a skill gap between the industry and what we are taught in our universities or in our education system. So I think being able to bridge that gap, bring the industry closer to the education system, that's the problem there in my country.
To be frank, Felix, like this thing is even in India. It's not like everyone knows about coding platforms. I would like to tell you, I'm from a computer science background, and back I did my BCA, that's a Bachelor of Computer Applications. But when it comes to technicality, knowing about networks, knowing about web application, there is nothing I know. So sometimes what happened, the education system is like most over in country in India or in South African countries or the Nigerian countries. Like I have a lot many people where I have spoke about the education system. They say the same thing. The education system is only to complete your syllabus, focus on exams, get your good marks. You learn or you don't learn doesn't matter. That's how the education system is lacking in many areas. So it's not only in your country, but yeah, we do have this drawback in our country. Not every kid learns about coding. So Akash is from a technical background. Not every kid in his class is good in all this. So there are kids who are like have no clue what they're doing, but they're doing it. So that happens everywhere. Yeah.
Yes, I'm looking. I was looking at the percentage because since I came here, I think it's not just about the coding aspect, okay, but being able to actually apply, even if you don't know coding, maybe you know there is a domain, a certain domain that someone knows. It's not like knowing all the computer science is very broad. You can't know everything. Sure. So being able to at least know your something about your space, at least the basic knowledge to get you into the job. Okay, the basic skill to get into. Apart from that, too, one thing that helps Indian education system is the affordability of internet. Internet here is very affordable as compared to my country is very expensive. Use that no, let's say five times or six times. So it's very expensive. Yeah, it's very expensive, and it's not fast as well. So it's expensive and slow. So that's the issue. But here in India, even if the education system is not training you on the skills, you're able to go online to this Coursera, you're able to go online and learn the practical aspects. Also, there are many training institutions, IT training institutions in India. In my country, there are about just 3 or 4 top IT training institutions. He was trained in India. He is highly valued in my country. India, they know Indians to be, highly skilled in IT. Like when you say you are trained in India, then it means you are the best. So that's what made me choose India. And secondly, my government brought me here. Okay, I won a scholarship from my government to come and study here. So the government brought me to India to study because the government realized that India, when it comes to IT and computer science and all these things, technology, India is very advanced, one of the best in the world. So that's why my government gave me a scholarship to come and study here.
When I see Felix, okay, I remember dedication and hard work because I was, since I'm personally connected, I keep seeing Felix on social media. He was tested positive for COVID. He was on his bed, for literally 1 week, and he was attending all the interviews from his bed. Felix, I want emphasize on this because this stands as an inspiration from a lot of people. Your dedication. Speak about this.
Oh yeah, thank you. Yes, I had COVID. I had to do it because it's a company I love so much and I didn't want the chance to go. So did the interview at the hospital. I informed them that I was in the hospital. They asked me whether I still want to carry on with the interview. And I said yes, because I think I was so much determined. I was waiting for this opportunity to be able to work for an international company like KPMG. So I found it as an opportunity for me to put in my all, at least to let them know that I'm disciplined, I'm ready to work for them.
So that was really an amazing experience with Felix with us about ethical hacking and all the things that is happening on the internet, the dark web, the deep web, or the normal web that we use, the internet crawling, things which we never knew. So hope you guys liked it. We'll be coming with the same podcast again this week. Stay tuned and stay in touch with us. We'll be updating such videos often, and do subscribe immediately and do listen to our podcast again and again. Thank you, Felix, for being with us. See you all again next week.